Hey everyone, good morning. It's Catherine Janice just getting set up for our 10 a.m. at-home workout, our functional fitness class. So I hope you're having a good morning and that it's been a good week. We've got a couple minutes before we get started, so take your time. Good morning. Hey Diane. So our focus today will be a little bit more on balance. We'll still get the heart rate up and work on strength, core, mobility, flexibility. Hey Trudy, good morning Joe. But we'll hone in a little bit more on balance components of our overall fitness. So we're going to start, of course, with our warm-up. You'll want to have on closed toe and closed heel shoes. Towards the end, we'll have the option to take the shoes off. When we're barefooted or with less support in the feet, it's a good way to work on balance, to strengthen the smaller muscles in the lower leg and foot, and also work on our proprioceptors. So just a couple more seconds. Again, my name is Catherine with the Aging and Wellness Institute. Today is our last Friday of June. Sorry about that, just making sure Sarge and Spike, our two little dogs, are secure, not underfoot. So, hey Eddie, hello. So I have my stability ball handy and my foam roller and a throw pillow. So we'll be incorporating those if you have them. If not, not to worry about it. Our warm-up, let's get started. Seated or standing, check your posture. Shoulders are up, back and down, so you've got a nice lift to the breastbone. And we're going to do our single leg swing. Now if you're seated, you probably want to be sitting up a little bit taller, like on a bar stool. So we're going to swing one leg front and back. Nice full breath. When you're ready, go ahead and try those single leg swings on the other side. Option to hold on to something sturdy, like the wall or the edge of your couch if needed. And then we're going to go back to that first leg and we're going to do a diagonal leg swing. So instead of front to back, we're going to go side to center or side to side. So side to side is a good option if you've had a hip replacement or you're being gentle with your hip today. Otherwise, we'll do side to side, and you might find that going in a slight diagonal feels better. And when you're ready, let's switch to the other side. I find the side to side a little bit more challenging on my balance, so I'm going to rest a hand lightly on this little stand to help. Nice breath. And release it. So we're going to go back to that first leg. Option one, you're going to lift up the leg. See if you can get your knee and your hip either in the same line or your knee just a little below your hip. And we're going to start with our gait. So you're going to open the leg and close the leg. Now you do not need to open the leg all the way out to the side. In fact, it's more challenging to open it a little bit than to open it all the way. How is the posture looking? So the shoulders are level. Can you bring your ears over your shoulders? So our gait, open and close, march it out, roll it out. Other side, same thing. Lift up the leg, maybe a 90-degree bend, or your knee just a little south of your hip, open and close. If you're feeling a little wobbly, you're doing it right. If you're feeling like you're gonna maybe fall over and you don't feel comfortable, just take your big toe onto the floor as you open and close. So it becomes more of a pivot on the foot. Good. Now putting your eyes, setting your gaze onto a steady focal point a few feet out in front of you really does help to steady our balance. Let's march it out. And roll it out, stretching out the front of our hip flexors, which were just activated in that last movement. We're going to alternate a heel pushback, so I'll turn. The leg is pretty straight, hands can rest onto your hips. They could just reach out, or they could rest onto a table or a chair. You want to push back with a flexed foot. Belly muscles stay zipped up so we're not overarching the back. The next time you lift up one leg, you're going to hold it up there. Shoulders down and back, earlobes are still lined up over the shoulders. And all you're going to do is point and flex your lifted foot. Point and flex. Keep going. Your standing leg is strong, it's sturdy, it's straight, but it is not locked, meaning there is a slight bend around the knee joint. Last one, and march it out, roll it out. Let's take the other leg back. So for me, it's my left leg back, and just hold it there. If you feel wobbly, option to hold on, or tap the toes down to the floor and then come back up. So hold it as long as you can, and then if you need to tap down, do so. Our next option is to point and flex the lifted foot. So the back leg, point and flex. Check in with your standing leg. It's strong and sturdy. It's unlocked at the knee joint. Couple more. And let's set it down. March it out. Big shoulder rolls. Hello, good morning. Hey there, thanks for joining us. Big shoulder rolls, little marches. Go ahead and grab a sip of water. Again, my name is Catherine. We are focusing today on balance. If you want to incorporate weights, we'll have that as an option. But what we're going to do is stand on one foot. I'm going to stand on my left foot and take my right leg out to the side and then set it down. So the right leg out and down. Now resist the urge to take the leg out real high. When that happens, we begin to lose the alignment in our hips. So you could keep this a small movement out and in. Notice all 10 toes are facing forward. Sometimes the leg that's going out to the side wants to turn out. We want to keep the toes forward. The next time you take it out, just hold it out there. If you want, reach the arms out. That might help your balance. Of course, you can steady one hand on the sturdy object or tap down if you feel a little wobbly. We're going to keep it lifted, flex the foot, point the foot, push out through the heel, point through the toes. So the same movement we did, but our body was facing more towards the ground. Now all you're going to do is relax the foot. Zip up the belly muscles, and we're going to make little circles off to the side. Little circles off to the side. Reverse the circles the other way. How's your standing leg? Strong and sturdy. It might be starting to talk to you. Woo! And march it out. Roll it out. Let's do that same movement on the other side. So whichever leg you haven't lifted out to the side, go ahead and do that. I'm standing on my right leg and using my left leg to open out and close down. For more challenge, when you lower the leg, see if you can hover it above the floor. If you need a modification, go ahead and set it down. All 10 toes are going straight ahead. Nice posture. The next time you open it up, hold it out there. Hands wherever you need them. Point and flex. Point and flex. So we've got our weight lined up, most of our weight, over our standing leg. Great opportunity to check the posture to make sure we're getting the most benefit to our bone density. Now just relax the foot, little circles. Lots of work in our standing leg. Reverse the direction, other way. Good, and march it out. Woo, I really felt those. And oftentimes people are surprised how much they feel like they're working when they're, quote, just doing balance. So the balance ups the intensity not only for the musculoskeletal system, but also the nervous system. So we're really, really concentrating on keeping that body upright and safe. Okay, from here, we're going to stand on one leg, bend the other leg, and just hold it behind you. I think we did this earlier in the week. Maybe we had a pillow behind one leg or a rolled up towel. We're just going to stand on one leg and bend the other. So I'm standing on my left leg and I want to hold my thighs parallel. So from the side, they're in the same line. We do not have one thigh in front, we just have it lined up. Shoulders are back, belly muscles zipped up from pubic bone to breastbone. The foot that's lifted behind you, flex it and point it out through the heel, out through the toes. Good, and march it out. Let's take it to the other side. Yep, okay, good. I'm glad it's not just me feeling it. Thank you, Eddie. Hey, Sarah, thanks for joining us. So, standing on the other leg, you're going to bend the leg back. Now, if you're feeling wobbly, of course, the floor is right there. If you need it, tap your toes down and or have one hand resting on something sturdy. And I know if you practice yoga with Sarah, you'll do some great balancing poses. And of course, lots of variations, lots of options. From here, thighs are parallel. Flex, point, your lifted foot. So the flex, you're going to push out through the heel. The point, you're going to extend through the toes. Heel, toes, heel, toes. One more of each. And march it out. Let's march it wide and do a dynamic stretch with our curl back. So you want to pull the heel up to your tail. Hands can rest on your hips. They can reach off to the sides, or maybe add some movement with your arms. Maybe a reach and pull, maybe a bend and extend. Let's bring it around in front, hand to opposite leg. So if you're choosing to do this seated, you can sit on a sturdy chair. You could sit on a less sturdy chair, one with wheels, or a stability ball as you continue. So hand reaches across, belly muscles pull in. Now the next time you take it across, hold it there. Even if you're not making contact, just hold it up there. Belly muscles are helping to keep the leg lifted. For a split second, close your eyes, open your eyes, and switch and hold other side. So our footwear makes a big difference with our balance. The surface that we're using, so if you're on carpet versus tile, makes a difference. And of course, our eyesight makes a big difference. So hold it here, check your posture, belly muscles in for a quick second if you want. Eyes closed, eyes open, and release. Roll it out. If you're sitting on a stability ball, your active recovery would be a little bounce. Now, if you just had a big breakfast or a lot of coffee, you probably don't want to do a bounce, or at least not a very big one. Otherwise, seated or standing, take it to a march in place, or if you want to up your intensity, take it to a jog in place. All right, let's grab some water. And just a reminder, the Tuesday and Thursday small group training, 3 to 3:30 for AWI members via Zoom. It's a fun time to connect. Yesterday we had a nice group, so keep that in mind if you're wanting a little bit more kind of one-on-one, or in this case small group, with myself and other members. Okay, next movement, we're going to come over to a sturdy wall or a closed door. Let me stay a little closer to talk. We're going to do a wall sit, option to lift up part of the foot or the entire foot. So come over to a sturdy wall and take a seat. Ankles and knees line up. Toes and knees go in the same direction. If you want a little more challenge, bring your feet a little closer together. Press your tailbone back and your head back. Right now, hands wherever you want them. They could be on your thighs. They could be pressing against the wall. And we're going to alternate, lifting up the ball of one foot and set it down. Lift up the ball of the other foot and set it down. Option 2, lift up all 10 toes and set it down. Lift, one more, and release it. Hands push back, come up tall, and little march. So we're going to do another round of the wall sit with that variation to lift up part of the foot. If you found that lifting up the toes bothered your knees, of course you could just hold that wall sit, which is a great isometric exercise. Let's take it to a high knee march or a high knee lift. Belly muscles pull in. Our next option, we're going to reach up the arms, and this time you're going to pull in almost like you were doing a standing crunch. Now when you pull in, the back will round a little bit. Arms reach, pull, and reach. 4, 3, 2, last one, kind of. This next one, we're going to hold it up. Now, if you want to hold on lightly to the shin bone, you can, but go ahead and let the shoulders kind of pull forward and just hold it here. Release, straighten up, other leg, bring it in. Fingertips or fingers to the shin bone. A little rounding to the upper back is okay because we've got the belly muscles pulled in. And release. Roll it out, reach back, hand to opposite foot. So anytime we do a movement behind the body, our balance is more challenged, primarily because we can't really see what's going on back there. If we have a mirror or the camera can help, so reach back and tap, tap, tap. The next time you reach back, just hold it back there, even if they don't make contact. Can you at least reach hand to opposite foot or calf? And switch. Other side, reach. This lifted arm, maybe you want to steady it on the couch. Otherwise, we're reaching back, opposite connection here, and roll it out. Let's go back to the wall. So we're going to do a second round of that wall sit. Remember, the foot position is up to you. Just see if you can get your kneecaps and your toes going the same direction. More challenge for our strength and, of course, our balance. What we're going to do on this one is really press the hands into the wall, press the head and the tailbone, and pick up one foot. Now your foot can be lifted a little or a lot. If you want, you could straighten your leg, holding the thighs parallel, safely set it down, and let's try it on the other side. Now we're picking up one foot, the other foot is serving as the base of support, so you may need to bring it in a little closer. You can lift it a little or a lot, keep the leg bent or straight. And release, push hands into the wall, and march it out. Let's grab a sip of water. If you're still with me, give me a wave or a thumbs up. Great, great job. We're coming up right about the little past the halfway part of our workout. That last one, if you did it with me, the wall sit option to lift up a foot and or extend the leg, really great way to strengthen the muscles in the front of your thighs, the quadriceps. And those are the muscles that attach the hip bone to the knee joint. The stronger those muscles are, the more support and stability we're going to have in the hip and the knee joint, which is, of course, important as we go throughout our daily life. All right, thank you for the feedback. Up next, a hinge with the option to make it a single leg hinge. Now, if you are feeling like these movements are kind of basic and you want to up the intensity, by all means, add some weight, whether it's a weighted backpack or weights to your shoulders, as long as you are keeping really great form, meaning safe, neutral spine and posture. So the hinge, we're going to push the hips back. Imagine your tailbone is going to tap the wall behind you and then rise tall. In fact, if you want to use the wall, that can be helpful. Standing 1 foot length in front of the wall, push the hips back until your tail makes contact and then rise tall. So hips push back and rise tall. Keep going. For a little bit more challenge, the movement is the same. All you're going to do is close your eyes. Eyes closed. Think of your hips going back and forward. Another option, and we'll do this on both sides, we're going to bring 1 foot in front and the other foot in back. So I'm going to have my left foot in front, my right foot in back, and you can keep them hip bone width as you hinge. Eyes can close for more challenge. Or imagine you were standing on a balance beam and your feet can have a few inches between them, or you can bring it heel toe. So you choose. And now we'll try our hinge. Imagine your inner leg muscles, your inner thigh muscles magnetized together. And last little piece of the puzzle, if you want more challenge, eyes closed. Thank goodness this balance beam is imaginary. 2 more. And last one. Good, come on up, march it out, flip-flop your legs. So whatever foot was in back now comes to the front. Start with your feet hip bone width as you push your hips back and then rise tall. So you want the back quote unquote flat, meaning your spine is neutral. For more challenge, try a couple with your eyes closed. To build up your intensity further, step your feet one in front of the other on that imaginary balance beam, and you choose, is there a little space between your feet, a big space, or no space? Notice the difference in your balance. Squeeze the inner thigh muscles together. And last little variation, eyes closed. It helps me to have my hands off to the side, especially with the eyes closed. How about 2 more? Ooh, falling off the balance beam. Belly muscles in. Last one, you might have to move slower to keep your balance. Come on up and march it out. Nice, nice job on the hinge with the balance beam. So we're going to alternate a front leg kick or extension. Modification, do the seated or do a heel tap. So if you're seated, let's say you're using a stability ball, keep your good posture, alternate a leg kick or a leg extension, belly muscles pull in and up. Next option, to add a front reach or a front punch with the opposite arm of your kicking leg. So if you're kicking with your right leg, it's the left arm that punches, left leg, right arm that punches. Good. Nice tall posture. Do a couple with your eyes closed. Eyes open, and let's switch it up. Let's take our kick same side as the punching arm. So left leg, left arm, right leg, right arm. Remember, the modification might be the heel tap or the arm reach. So same side, option to do a few with the eyes closed. Last one, and release. Good, good work. Roll it out. Let's take some windmilling arms. So extend your arms. Anchor the feet a little bit wider than your hips and shoulders. And when you're ready, take the windmill arms in reverse. Now, if you're being gentle with your shoulder, you might need to bend the arm a little or a lot. And that's fine. Just listen to your body. and release it. All right, let's grab a sip of water. A few more movements we're gonna do. If you do have a foam roller, you wanna bring that nearby. If not, that's fine. And if you have a little throw pillow, also wanna grab that. Okay. Up next, seated or standing bicycle, and then we are going to come down either onto the floor or a low kneeling position or using the couch. So seated or standing bicycle, if you want to use your stability ball, I find this more challenging on the bounce because it is not as stable. Arms up to goalpost or fingertips behind the ears, turn elbow to opposite knee. Even if you just want to do the lower half, think of the knee coming up and slightly in. So these inner thigh muscles attach up into the lower pelvis. Maybe you just want to do the upper half where you turn and come slightly forward. Keep going. Check your breathing. Exhale as you turn. Inhale as you come back to the center. Now imagine moving in slow motion. And imagine that we are doing this seated or standing on a pane of glass. So when you set the foot down, you have to do so with control. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good. Roll it out. Up, back, and down. Okay. So I'm going to use a foam roller. If you have one, great. If not, no worries. We're going to come down to a kneeling position. Now, if you're not comfortable kneeling, you could do this standing with your hands resting onto a stability ball or with your hands resting to the front edge of your couch. And so we're going to do our bird dog, great for balance and proprioceptor. So set yourself up, wrists, elbows, shoulders in the same line. If you're standing, ankles, knees, and hips in the same line. And we're going to extend arm, opposite leg, and lower down. Arm, opposite leg, and lower down. In fact, we did these yesterday in our endurance intervals. If you're using the foam roller, same setup, knees under hips, hands under shoulders, extend. So the roller is rounded on the bottom. So when we take one hand off, we have less stability. Belly muscles are pulling in and up. Last little variation. Try a couple with your eyes closed, even if it's for a split second. Eyes open. The next time you extend arm and opposite leg, whatever set that is, hold it there. So arm and opposite leg extended, hold it there. Flex your back foot, reach out through your front fingers. Our next option, take your arm, open it a little bit to the side, take your leg, open it a little bit to the other side. So now we have a diagonal. Belly muscles in, option to close the eyes for 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's take a moment to stretch the back. If you're standing, just round the back. If you're kneeling, see if you can push your hips back towards your heels. Come on up. Let's try the other side. So for this bird dog, if you rather do just the lower half or just the upper half, that's fine. We want to start with a neutral spine. So think of your plank, strong supported spine from all sides, and start with your bird dog. Arm and opposite leg extended. Now, do you remember which set you've already held out there? Whichever set you have not held out there, hold it there. If you can't remember, guess. And usually if you guess wrong, you'll be quickly reminded. Top arm, we're going to open it a little bit out. Back, opposite leg, a little bit out, and hold it there. Unhunch the shoulders, eyes closed, breathe in this diagonal bird dog. Eyes open, come center, and stretch. Nice, nice job. Okay, we're going to come onto our back. Option to come flat to the floor. If you're not comfortable coming onto the floor, you could do this leaning back onto your couch or some pillows propped up, or come onto your foam roller. Now some people get creative if they don't have a foam roller. They'll roll up a yoga mat or two. They'll take their kids or grandkids' pool noodle and wrap a towel or mat around that and kind of make their own roller. So the challenge and the benefit to the roller is now we're several inches up off the floor. Excuse me, meaning we're going to have more imbalance. So our goal is to work on steadying that. So coming onto your back with or without the roller, legs are bent, we're going to do our dead bug. Arms extend over the shoulders. Let's start with the upper body. Reach one arm overhead, come back to the center, reach the other arm overhead, back to the center. The lower body, we're going to pick one leg up, about a 90-degree bend, set it down, the other leg up, and set it down. Our third option is to put those movements together. One arm is going to stay down for balance as you lift up the other arm with the opposite leg and set it down. Arm and opposite leg and set it down. When you set the hand down, see if you can keep the palm facing up, so it's the back of the hand that pushes into the floor. One more for each set. Last one. And release it. So just let the legs bend, let your head turn a little side to side. Zip up the belly muscles, palms face down, take one leg to a tabletop and bring the other leg to a tabletop. So whether you are flat on the floor, you're using a roller or a makeshift roller, entirely up to you. Pull the belly muscles in. Tap one heel down to the floor, lift it up, other heel taps and lift. Option to add opposite arm reaching up overhead, come back to the center and switch. Heel tap, opposite arm reach, and switch. Two more, and last one. Good, set the feet down, maybe a little wider, and either shift your legs side to side, or if you're using the roller, you can either take your fingers and interlace them gently behind your head and curl up as you use the legs to push and pull with a parallel roll, or rest the head, arms to a T, and you're going to turn your head into the roller. Good, and rest at center. Let's take one more little turn for the head and neck, stretching the shoulders, the muscles that go up into the face and the jawline. And then if you're on the roller or a makeshift roller, safely roll off one side. And we do this without lifting the body. So gently come off one side, just move the roller out from underneath of you. Take a moment here. And then take a full body stretch. Extend your legs, reach your arms overhead, and then from here, however you are comfortable coming to a seated position. So you could roll to one side, you could tuck into a ball, you could roll yourself up, you choose. And you could do this next exercise seated up high on the couch. If you're doing this on the floor, you want to have a little cushioning underneath you, so maybe roll up your mat or your towel. Shoulders are back, lift up the breastbone, pick up one leg, hand behind the thigh, pick up the other leg, hand behind the thigh. Belly muscles pull in. Notice the hands are on the fleshy part of the thigh. They are not pulling behind the knee joint where there's a lot of delicate tissue we don't want to mess with. From here, flex one foot, point the other. Flex and point, just like we did earlier in the warm-up. And then circle your ankles around. You might have to take your legs a little wider if you have larger feet like I do. And then reverse the circle around the other way. And set it down. From here, option to take your shoes off. Take your time coming to standing. We're just going to do a couple more movements and then you guys will be done. And this is where if you have a throw pillow, you want to bring that by and set it on the floor. So you can do this with your socks or bare feet, whichever you prefer. And if you want to do it seated, that's fine also. And what we're going to do is stand one foot in the center of your throw pillow, With good posture, shift your weight onto that pillow foot. Lift your other heel or other foot entirely and balance. So we're standing on something that is less firm than the flat floor, even the flat floor with carpet. So this is kind of like standing in marshmallow fluff. See if you can release your hands and notice all the work taking place in the ankle. Those small foot muscles and muscles down at the toes are really working. Release and switch. Take the other foot, center of the pillow, check your posture, lift up your other heel, or stand and lift up the other foot. Right away, can you tell a difference in your stability standing on one leg versus the other? I certainly can. So once you've done both sides, let's go back and do another pass on the side that felt less stable. So for me, it's my right foot. I'm going to stand my right foot on the pillow, lift my left heel or my left foot and balance. So if you're feeling that wobble, that work in the lower leg, that's a good thing. That's actually how we improve our balance, improve our proprioceptors, which are the feelers down in the feet, and those proprioceptors get more work when we have less support in the foot, meaning we're not wearing shoes, we're wearing a sock or a real thin sock, or no sock at all, and release, march it out. Nice, nice job. All right, seated or standing, take some big shoulder rolls up, back, and down, and then let's split our stance, one foot in front, one foot in back. For this, you're welcome to stay with your shoes off, but if you are more comfortable, if you want to slide them back on, that's fine. Lift your back heel, straighten your front leg, and then lower the back heel, bend the front leg. Lift the back heel, straighten the front leg, lower the back heel, bend the front leg. Last one. Good. From here, option to flip-flop your feet or turn the body 180 degrees. So now your back foot has become your front foot. Lift your back heel, straighten your front leg, lower the back heel, bend the front leg. Hands wherever you need them. So maybe reaching the arms off to the side is helpful. Let's do one more. And release it. Good. Take a seat. We're going to do our hip flexor stretch. So whether you're sitting on something sturdy or not, we're going to take our hips to one side and step one leg back. So you might be sitting on the front of your couch with one leg extended off to the side, or maybe you're kind of paralleling the couch and one leg is extended back. So we're finding a stretch in the front of the back leg, the hip flexors, and then let's try it on the other side. So just a quick stretch. I know y'all are going to be doing some more activity later today. Stretching is something you can mix in throughout the day, so feel free to sprinkle it into your day. Balance is something we can also sprinkle throughout the day. Come back to the center. Last stretch, ankle crosses opposite ankle, or ankle crosses opposite knee. Flex the crossed foot, shoulders roll back, hinge forward, find the stretch and hold, or come in and out of the stretch, especially if you're feeling a little tight. Find your breath, add it to the movement. That will help release the tightness from the tissue. One more. And release it. Just let that leg flop a little bit. Let's try it on the other side. Cross low or high. Flex your crossed foot. Hinge forward. Stay right here. Add some breath. Or if you're feeling really tight, like there's a lot of grabbing, let's do a moving stretch. Hinging forward and then pressing the head back. Of course, we've got the breath moving on this stretch as well. And then all the way up, release the leg, just let it flop a little side to side. Shoulders roll up, back, and down. Sweep the arms. Turn the palms out, pull down the side walls. One more big shoulder roll. Great job. Give yourself a hand. High fives for everyone. Thanks for joining us live, or thanks for doing this a little bit later on. We appreciate you tuning in. Again, my name is Catherine with the Aging and Wellness Institute. Today is Friday, which is also Wear Your AWI Shirt Day. So if you are, snap a pic, send it in. Samantha will get those posted. Let's see, anything else I'm missing out on? Sarah's going to do her yoga today at 1. Y'all have a great weekend. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Otherwise, I will see you guys Monday. Bye.